Hello, everybody. Welcome to Ladies Power Lunch. We are talking today with Leslie, and we are talking about using Facebook groups to grow our businesses. Welcome, Leslie. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm really, really glad that you're here. And this is a topic that a lot of our members actually do have an interest in. So I'm really looking forward to hearing all your words of wisdom. So, Leslie, tell us. Who are you and what is it that you do in the world? Who are you?
Wow, just in 1 second, in one word. First of all, thank you so much for inviting me and having me. Much appreciated, and I'm glad to be here. So my name is Leslie Neiditz, and I am an entrepreneur, and I have a business with a network marketing company, and I've had that for 11 years. And I'm also a professional networker. I've had a networking business for women. And most recently, I am developing a course for entrepreneurs to start and grow a Facebook group to help them promote, grow their businesses.
Okay, that's really interesting. So, a lot of people are online now in a way that they haven't been before. You certainly have had experience with this way before we even ended up in this situation where online was a necessity. And so tell us a little bit about, how you came to be in that area.
The company that I'm with in my network marketing business, I started using Facebook groups when it was rolled out. And that was like about 10 years ago, Facebook groups were introduced. And I just saw that being able to work virtually. So I sell a product, it's a product line. And I thought, wow, like you can actually get people together and communicate and have a community of people. So from the get-go, I started creating communities of people through Facebook groups, and I just found that it was really helpful for me in connecting with people. And a way, at the time, I had small children, so it was a way for me to not be out at night and leave my kids at home, or have a babysitter, so I can pop in, connect with people. And also, I knew that I didn't want to be limited by geography, so I would be able to connect with people all over the country. So I've grown with Facebook. My business has grown as Facebook has grown and evolved. So I've used that. I've also used it to guide people. I use it as a support group for people who are going through a nutrition program that I lead people through. And that's been going on for more than 7 years, 12 months a year. And then also creating a community for women in my networking group. So different areas of my business, but then I also use it for personal reasons too. But I really, as an administrator of a group, I just organically gained an expertise in this area of social media.
Excellent. And I just want to take a moment to say hi to everybody who is kind enough to join us over on Facebook. We have quite a few of our friends joining us over there. Mina, Christina, Dina. Hey, that rhymes. Totally unintentional.
Did you like plan that?
I know. Just want to shout out to everybody who's watching us over there. We have quite a few eyes on over there. And if you're watching, say hi, send a wave, send us some likes and hearts so that we can know that you're watching with us. Awesome. So you have, Leslie, all this expertise with using groups over the years when nobody needed to use groups, but it was beneficial for your business. So for those of us who are now in our membership, or people who are watching or listening to us on podcasts, what would you have to say to them about the benefits? Why should they really think about using a Facebook group at this time?
Because, well, number one, it's free and it's really effective in creating a community of people who have an interest in what you do, either the products you sell or the service you provide or the mission that you have or the cause that you're promoting or an interest that you have. And so it brings people together. It gives you the opportunity to have other people see you as the expert in what you do. and in a natural way. And people are coming to you rather than you going after people. It creates brand loyalty when you have people who are surrounding you virtually, talking about the thing that you offer, and they're excited about it. They attach that great feeling to you and your brand or your business or whatever it is you're offering in the world.
But why do you think there are people out there who are hesitant to hop into the idea of, starting a Facebook group or getting involved with something like that?
I think hesitancy comes from people just not being comfortable because they don't know what they feel like they don't know what they're doing. So they don't want to make a mistake. They feel like, I don't know how to start it. I don't know how to do it, or I don't know how to use it. I'm scared that I hear that, I don't want to speak too much, or I don't want to post too much, or I don't know what to post. So uncertainty or confusion creates lack of action, or people don't know where to start. So it centers around not knowing what to do or how to use it. Also, how do you reach out to people? A lot of people are nervous. They don't want to be spammy. They don't want to seem aggressive. They don't want people to be turned off. But there are ways around that for sure.
What are the ways? You knew I was going to ask you that question.
Well, first of all, if you're providing value in your group and you're providing something that people want, people will want to be there. People have to opt in. There's a difference between, I think it's important to understand there's a difference between a Facebook page and a Facebook group. Now, most people have Facebook pages, and it's super easy to have one, but Facebook pages don't engage people. It's sort of the billboard for your business. It's like, here I am. This is, let's just say we're Nike, right? Here's my brand. I'm Nike, and I sell shoes, and I sell sneakers, and this is where we are. This is how much they are, and here's where they're located, and here's the newest thing. Where you can have a group, and a group creates a community. Now you can create a whole, people start talking about like the latest thing. People start interacting. All the fans of Nike, all the athletes start talking about it, and it creates, people want to be there. There's interaction with other people. You're meeting like-minded people. So it's just a different kind of feel. You're also able to, as an owner or as a brand, be able to get insights on who your people are, who are your fans, what are their interests, what are their pain points, because you can hear them, you can see them, you can feel them through the interaction that you get in your group. You don't get that on a page. People don't really engage each other. There's not a lack of engagement. There's more of a brand or a business name on a page, and it's sort of like you're standing back. In a group, it's an individual that's engaging. It's a person. And people want, especially now, we're craving connection. We're craving interaction with other people, meaningful interaction.
Certainly meaningful interaction. So basically, making that differentiation, making that distinction between what you are achieving with having a Facebook page and what you're achieving with having a Facebook group is really, really important. And I think for entrepreneurs, we need to have both, definitely. Yep. But the value of having a Facebook group is really developing that community, that brand loyalty, creating, like you said, basically raving fans of what it is that you do. So you said people might be hesitant because they don't know what to share or what to post, or fear of being spammy. What should they be sharing? What should they be posting? How can they be running a group while not being spammy?
Yeah, so what I do is I think about who are the people that like my product. I'm just going to use myself as an example. So I have a health and wellness product that I offer. And let's just say we're talking about new skincare. So I'm thinking about, what are the things that people are thinking about? Well, they're thinking about, in the Northeast, it's cold, right?
Yes.
So what can they possibly use? What can they possibly do? And it doesn't have to be a product that will be helpful to them during cold winter months and their skin in looking good. What can they do? How should they shower? When should they put on moisturizer? How they should put on moisturizer? What time of day? How many times a day? So this could be free information for them. You're adding value. So add value to their lives. Maybe they don't know about it. you also can entertain them. People want to be entertained. So a lot of times I add humor into what I do, because who doesn't want to laugh? So I will add anything I feel is fun and humorous around the topic of what I offer. You also want engagement, polls in a group. You've seen the poll option. If you don't, we can share more about that, but you can get insights to the members of your group. Ask a question and you give options in terms of, like, say, how frequently do you apply moisturizer, right? And so you can get an idea, once a day, twice a day, never, once on my
Never.
on my birthday, what's moisturizer, and you can give people options, and you could see how people interact. And so you're getting a feel for what people care about. And also, people like to share information about themselves. They absolutely love it. So people like to be heard. So asking questions is a great way to get engagement.
So if somebody has a product, or they're centering their Facebook group around a service that they're providing,
Mm-hmm.
providing information that is topical and important,
Mm-hmm.
that people will appreciate, is one way they can do it. Asking questions and using
Yep.
polls. Anything
Yeah.
else that they can use to enhance engagement in the group?
You can do contests in your group. You can have post a selfie of yourself. You can do things like have themes for different days of the week that relate to what you do. Maybe you're someone who, I don't know, maybe you're a hairdresser, right? And so you could do, selfie Saturday, show me a picture of your hair today.
Mm-hmm,
It's
mm-hmm.
fun. It's just creating fun. You're not really selling anything, but it might lead to, oh, I don't love the way my hair looks. You might get insight, or they may ask for advice in there. So now this is a chance for that hairdresser to infuse themselves or give someone guidance. And that person might say, hey, I'd love to come and visit you. Can you help me with that? Or how do I blow my hair at home? That kind of thing. So selfie Saturday, Mindset Monday is one thing, is a way to have people share. And that could relate to a lot of people, relate to a lot of different businesses. So you can make it themes. You can have events in your group. Yeah. So it could be around like this, create an event centered around what you do. Like something that I've done is I've had, a mask party where everyone comes wearing a mask and we talk about the benefits of a facial mask, whether it's a clay mask or a sheet mask or an eye mask. So that creates engagement. We talk about the benefits. It's not necessarily my product, but then people may want information about my product, and I probably give information about it, but it won't be a complete sales event. But it'll be fun, it'll be informative. I look at it as like 3 E's. Are you entertaining people? Are you engaging people? And are you educating people? Like those are the 3 things that I think about when I think about being an administrator or a moderator of a group. What am I giving to people?
Entertaining, educating, and
engaging.
Engaging. Okay.
So interaction, yeah.
Got it. So we have some questions over here on Facebook, and I'd really love if you could give some feedback on what your experience has been, what you think we should do. Jessica says, what if you have a group, but members don't really respond to the questions I ask?
I would ask, I would have to look at the questions. Maybe, are the questions on point? Is it relevant? Without specifically knowing, are you asking the right questions? It could be the time of day. I think sometimes, I saw someone post something like really late at night. It was really good information, but people are really not on Facebook, or that's not when most people are on. I would say midday is a great time, 11 to 3.
11 to 3.
Yeah,
that engage. Is true.
Yeah, big window, and it changes for different industries. But I think generally you're going to get more engagement then. Other thing you could do is, do you have fans in your group? Who are your people who love what you do, who are always buying, who are always, use or engaged? Have them comment, have them create engagement. with that. You could also do a giveaway periodically. You know, it doesn't have to be the biggest thing, but it could be something. People love giveaways, and I'll do that all the time with, you know, tell me your favorite color of lipstick, and maybe I'll give a lipstick away that, or tell me your favorite type of makeup product that you would wear. If you had one product that you can wear, and, you know, people say mascara, lipstick, whatever, and I'll give something away. So now I've created fun for everybody. Everyone loves free stuff. Two, I get to see, what do people like what's the one thing that people want to wear, or if they were, you know, stranded on an island, what would they have with them? So switch it up a little bit. Maybe the question just needs a little bit of tweaking, like it's there, but it's not completely there yet.
I agree with that. And I would say I would go a little bit further on that. I would say that definitely in every group you have people who are your fans and people who are probably your friends. Maybe your mom joined your group because, you know, you needed somebody else to join your group. You needed to make up numbers. You have a couple of people like that who are in your group. Yeah. When you post something, tag them on your post.
Yes,
and invite them to comment on it. And people don't like being the first person to comment. That has been my experience.
That's interesting.
So
yes.
Always, if you are not getting enough engagement to your post, you make that first comment or invite your besties, the people who are your diehard supporters, to be that first person to comment on it. Sometimes you can even send them a text. I'm posting on Facebook. Can you do a comment? Something as simple as that.
I mean, they're your fans. It's authentic, and
it is 100% authentic, I think.
The other thing I do is I add to my post. Like sometimes I have something and maybe I don't want to put 10 pictures in the post. So I'll put the information in the comments. Like it could be a link, or it could be like a recipe, or it could be, so I'm, you know, all the information I'm feeding down below. So that's along the lines what you said, but absolutely, it's a great way to do it.
And you don't want to get carried away with tagging people. You definitely don't want to annoy people with tagging. You want to be very selective with the people that you tag. For example, in our group, Ladies Power Lunch, I know whatever I post, I can always tag Leslie. I know this with every fiber of my being, because I know that she's not going to get upset about it, one. And two, if it's something that's relevant to her or that she has any kind of feeling about, she is going to comment, because that's just the kind of person that she is. So you kind of get to know the people who are in your group, and you get a chance to get more interaction as a result of that.
Right. The other thing I want to say is about, like, you're not getting interaction, the issue of not getting interaction on a post, because it happens. Look at all your posts. Are they varied? Are they the same thing every day? Is it just a, I'm getting a call at the same time. So are they varied? Are you posting quotes every day, which is not a bad thing, but if it's the same thing every day, put yourself in the shoes of your members. Would you be interested? Are you going to be engaged? I try to think about that. What do they want to hear? What can I offer that would excite them? So vary it. Maybe one day you're giving a tip Tuesday. That's always great. Everyone has an area of expertise. Do a tip Tuesday, and do it every Tuesday. And guess what? You can plan it ahead of time. What's great about Facebook groups, you can think about, you know, a month in advance, 2 months in advance, plan it out and schedule it. There's a feature on there. It's very easy to use. That's something that I'm going to talk about in my course that I do, but you can plan it out. Sit down for an hour, think of all the things that you would love to share with people. And then one tip each Tuesday for the next month or 2 months. That's really helpful. And then I find when I do that, people give me their information, and I'm always open, like, ask for advice. What would you do if, like, ask a question and leave a space. And sometimes they're just super fun. I find those, like, people just want to share so much. Like, they want to share. People love to share. So vary it in that way. Do a tip, do an article. Is there something so cutting edge, a really relevant article, you know, like in your business? Did something come out, like a new development that people want to know about? And is it with a reputable, you know, source? Then I would share that too. And I wouldn't just post a link. I would add some insights so they know exactly why you posted it, why you're sharing it, and what to look for. You could say something like, this article explains X, Y, and Z, or this article has cutting edge information or research about A, B, or C. So, don't just post, but explain a little bit so people are not like, why am I looking at this, Also, visuals I find can be too loud or too busy. Clean up your visuals too if it's just too wordy, too much. So those are some things that you can think about.
Oh, okay. Those are all really great suggestions. And I'm gonna throw another one in because you guys know we've been doing Facebook groups also even before we
Mm-hmm.
headed into quarantine. And one of the things that it's great about the platform that is Facebook, and don't get me wrong, I have my issues with Facebook, but one of the things that's great about the platform that is Facebook is that you have insights. So you can go in the back office of your Facebook group and you can look to see which of your posts were getting the most engagement.
Yep.
Which one of the posts that you put up over the past month were the ones that people seem to resonate most with?
Mm-hmm.
And then maybe that's a topic that you can expand upon. Maybe that's one that you might want to do a Facebook Live about. Maybe that's one that you might want to bring on a member of your group on an interview about. But just really focusing in on the things that people are interested in hearing about as opposed to the things that you think people are interested in hearing about.
Sometimes they're not the same.
They are not always the same, not always.
Yeah, and I like that point. I think doing something a little bit different, now that everyone's in Facebook groups, what are you doing that's different from other people? Like bringing other people in, having guest speakers that's relevant to what you're offering is really helpful. It's a way to mix it up. Keep on adding people to your group, and that's a whole nother topic on growing your group. But when you mix up who's in it, then that creates new activity for you. You also want to remind people to check their settings. Settings, I think, default to highlights now. So when someone joins your group, the default setting of what they're going to see in their feed from your group is simply the highlights. It's not going to be everything. So you can remind people periodically to do that, to change, tweak their settings so that they're seeing the posts that they want to see.
Yes, because you could be posting up a storm and literally no one is seeing it. That's so true.
Yeah, so that's the other thing. Being responsive to people. Like,
yes,
you have to respond to people. That's something that I've noticed recently. I'm like a voyeur on Facebook, in the sense that I like to see how people behave, in terms of what works. Why do some people get engagement? Why do some people not get engagement? And I noticed that respond to the people who respond to you, interact, pretend that you're at a networking meeting. Yes. This is a chance to have a networking with people, but not in person. So how would you react if someone said something to you? Would you just stand there like this? No, you would have a response. Absolutely. So respond to them as if you were face to face.
I agree with that.
With it, obviously we can't live on our phones, although it seems like we do a lot, but or the computer. But I would say if you have other things that you're doing in your life, make an appointment or scheduling your schedule.
Scheduling time to do that.
Schedule it to respond. Yeah. And then you can do it all at once, so that there's, give and take, there's a flow and there's a conversation and an interaction to what you're doing. So definitely at least acknowledge that you've seen a comment.
Absolutely.
But it's much better to comment with words, and not just one word, like a sentence. I've heard that 5 words is what's going to breed engagement. So more engagement breeds more engagement. So not just a like, but a click, but a comment is what's
5 words as a response breeds engagement. I like that. Yeah. Awesome. So we have quite a few comments over here on our Facebook group. So I just want to, we are looking at the people who are over here on our Facebook group. So Nicole says, Jessica, that's where I am. No one responds, even when I post questions. Adrienne says, did you talk about how to link your personal page to your Facebook group, or should you even do that?
You can do that. I mean, you can do that for sure. And you can always, periodically proactively share it in your group. And you want to do that. Say, hey, I have a business page. I'd love to share. There are things that I'm not sharing here that you will want to check out. If they're a fan of yours, they'll certainly want to check out your business page. So you can
Absolutely.
link it. You can also link in your profile, your group, so people can see it. I mean, that's leading to how can people find you in different ways. But
Excellent.
yeah, linking is something you could do and should do.
You should do. Awesome. Rachel is saying, right now I have a lot of well-meaning friends in my group and not a lot of target client type people. How do I get the and encourage more engaged, interested members?
Right. Well, I would think about not knowing your business or what it is you're doing. I would think about sit down and think about who is your ideal client, who is your ideal person, what do they look like, what are their interests, and where do they hang out in the virtual world. So you can, when you email people, email if you have a regular email that you do, link the link to your group in your email and say, hey, join me here on Facebook. This is where I share X, Y, and Z and all this fun stuff. There's interaction. It's funny. You want to build it up as a place that they want to be, for sure. And that there are things that you're doing there that they're not going to get in an email. So email is one way. Find other groups where you would find like-minded people and share in that group. Of course, you want to make sure that it complies with the rules and guidelines of that group, but there are so many ways to do it in a compliant way. So find out where they are. And then you can actively reach out to your current clients. Not just invite. That's one of the things I would say, don't do just invite without having some sort of message attached to it, but an invitation like, hey, I have this group. This is what we're doing in here. I would love for you to be a part of it and check it out. This is, what I'm offering, and click the link so you can get in the group, because people want to be asked. Being invited without any explanation, it's like, it feels weird to a lot of people, unless if you invited me somewhere, I'd be like, okay, I'm in, unless it's like someone who has no problem with it, right?
Right. You definitely have to be certain of that. I totally agree. We we're right up on time, but we still have quite a few questions
Okay.
in the chat. So Carol is asking about the ratio to how many engagement posts versus product info posts. I think that's a
Yeah.
really good question.
Yeah. I mean, that's a great question. And I would say, I hate to be like gray instead of black and white, but I would say it really depends on what you're offering. I know, like, say, if you have a clothing company or jewelry company, I would say it's much easier to I think more often you can post product posts on that about what you have. But I don't have a specific number. It would really vary. I mean, I do it maybe like once a week.
Mm-hmm.
I offer my product and I make sure it's really relevant. Like, is there something new that came out that I know people want to know about that came out today and they want to be in their know? Is there a special sale, like where time is of the essence? Yes, like post that, right? Is it seasonal? Like, you have to get it now because it's the season. Like, you got to have it for Christmas or you got to have it for the new year. So it really depends. And yes, is there a shipping issue? So I would always think about what's the intent behind it. What is the intent behind your post? What purpose is it serving? Is it just to sort of share? Then no, I would think like have a strategy beforehand. On this one day, this is when I do products, like share Saturday or share Sunday. This is when I share my product, or do a Facebook Live on my product. So people can expect, yeah, she's going to share product and this is when I'm going to do it, and people are interested in it. I'm in some groups where I'm like, give me the products. Like I want to see what you have. So I welcome that. I happen to love it. So I really think it depends on what are you offering for people, and does it really make sense? And do you think your people really want to see it, at a certain amount of time? I know that's not very specific, but it does vary depending on what you're offering.
Harry asks, What about telling your members to click on all the notifications so they see what's going on? How to build your group? Mine is brand new.
Yeah, I think that's great. I've done that in groups too. So people see it, you want to say, hey, I want to make sure that you're seeing all the great things that we're offering. When you do, if you're not doing this, do a welcome post every week, maybe on a Monday or at
Mm-hmm.
the end of the week. So, and that's something that you could do very easily. Basically, there's a function that where anyone who's new for the week shows up in a list, and you could post that list and you're tagging those people and it welcomes to the group. Maybe part of your welcome you can put as a reminder, by the way, adjust your notifications so you're seeing all the good stuff here.
Yes, I
That's
like
where I
that. I
do
think
it.
I'm actually going to add that to our welcome post, and I'm going to
Yeah,
change the way we're doing our welcome post. So watch out for that. It's going to be so
yeah.
exciting. No, it's not going to be that exciting.
I'm very excited about it.
I know, right? Maybe I should have you come on and help me record that. That would
I
be so exciting.
I will.
I know
Yeah,
you will.
so I think doing something like that, or periodically, or you can come on and do a live. That's another big aspect we have not talked about, going live.
You know, you're
So,
going to have to come back and we're going to have to talk about this so much more because we are so over time.
I know.
Nicole says, I've also found that if someone likes the post, you can tag them and ask them to comment. That is a really, really great idea.
Yeah.
And then we have Jamie saying that you're very responsive in your group, Leslie. So that's good high
Thank you.
praise for you.
Thank you.
And a lot of people saying thanks for the great ideas. Jess said, I've heard a 1-to-5 ratio is ideal for posting offers versus providing value without an offer. I would say
That's
always
what I said, basically once a week.
yeah,
Yeah.
I would say always have a call to action if it is possible, but
Mhm.
always be providing value. And there's sort of like a 80-20 rule generally in marketing
It's
about that sort of thing. Diana is asking any recommendations of what parents ages 5 to 12 in regards to education. I'm going to invite you to hop into the group, into the chat, and just answer some of these questions
oh
that
yeah.
are a little bit more specific. But thank you, Diana, for asking your question. That's real, and thanks everybody who's able to hop on. We've been having a very, very responsive group today. Very,
Thanks so
very.
much. I love it.
And so, Leslie, I had a whole bunch of questions that I had that I wanted to ask that I didn't even get to. So,
Yeah.
how about we make a date and have you
Yeah.
come back on, and maybe we schedule it not necessarily for Ladies Power Lunch coffee break, but more
Mm.
on the basis of like a workshop and
Yeah.
have people really sign up and hop on to that. So let's talk about that offline. You know, I only have to say things once because I actually do have a day job and I have to get back to that because I now have patients waiting.
Good for you. Absolutely. I love you. You're just great. You're such a sweetheart. Thank you so much. You're just amazing. You provide such a great platform for everybody to show up.
What do you have that you're promoting right now that we all should be hopping onto?
Yeah. So I would love everyone to join my group, speaking of groups, where I am
Yay!
rolling out a course. I'm working on it right now, and I'm really working vigorously on it. So I'm going to post a link to my group get there so you can see what I'm offering. I'm going to do a boot camp to grow your group. If you haven't started, we're going to do a boot camp to start your group. And then I'm rolling out a course and also in there. And that's really
Mm-hmm.
the best way to do it. And then I'll offer some, we can auction off or give away, like an hour consultation for somebody for their business and help them with their group. I would be happy to do that. Yeah.
That sounds wonderful. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining us. I really enjoyed our time together today, Leslie. But then,
You.
when have we ever been together that I haven't enjoyed our time? I cannot think of
Right.
a one time. So, thanks for joining us. Thanks, everybody, for joining us over on Facebook. And we'll see you on the next show. Have a great day, everybody. Bye.
Bye.